Oh,
Yeah.
hey, welcome, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Designated Drinkers podcast. My name is Karlo,
I'm Joe.
And I'm Mike.
and we decided to go see the movie Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we wanted to just give you some thoughts on it, and what we liked, what we didn't like, and maybe a see it or don't see it kind of situation for that. But first, Joe and I have to say, Joe and I both have. I've read the book, and Joe and I also listened to the audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
that's,
illiterate, that's why.
Sure. Anyways, so we're gonna let Michael go first, mainly because he is coming from a perspective of not seeing anything about this movie or book.
Nope. Yeah, I haven't read any of the book or listened to it, so I walked in with only the expectation of what I saw in the trailers, and it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed the movie and everything that was in it. Again, there's no spoilers, so the beginning was not what I expected.
How so? Well, so for our audience listeners that don't really know much about Ready Player One, let me maybe give them a gist of it. So the whole point of this of the movie, and not really like the gist of it is, we live in a world 2045 where virtual reality is a thing and everyone's obsessed with it, while the real world is not so great. The maker of the virtual world dies, and he starts a game called an Easter egg hunt to find his to beat his game, essentially. And if you beat his game, you win the game itself. You win all of his money and all of his wealth and all of his rights to the game and everything. So that's the gist of the movie. And you see these characters and all their fun adventures that don't have anything to do with the books.
Yeah, that was the part that I didn't expect. A huge hunt for the prize.
Oh, so, what did you think it was originally?
Honestly, I mean, I was thinking that it was going to have some drama with the people in the game and all that, and
Right.
I wasn't expecting that whole just you have to get this one item and then boom,
Which
that
you
you
win.
get it all. Yeah.
yeah, which in term it the book in itself, it wasn't like that either. And what we talked about doing after we saw the movie is actually listening to the audiobook as a crew of the three of us, and later on coming back and talking about it on the podcast. And that will be spoiler full.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the things we loved, the things we didn't like, to break it down. Maybe I'll get Brandon to join us too.
Because we're going to watch the movie again after we all read the book. So then you can...
No.
Yeah.
So we'll be reading it or listening to it or whatever, and talking about it. Things we liked, things we hated. I will maybe get Brandon to do it, because he's very vocal about a lot of things, and I think he'd be really good for that. But anything else on it? I know you said you liked it and you weren't expecting that, but
No, that whole aspect I really enjoyed, and I didn't really hate anything about the movie. It's always, I mean, in my opinion, it's always nice if the lead actress is attractive.
Okay.
Okay. It helps me not fall asleep in a movie because I want to see her.
Yeah.
I want to see more of her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I feel like it might have helped also that she was a redhead for you. I think the minute that came up, you were like, "Oh,
I did not think about that, but yeah.
It probably
Yeah,
helped.
it was bonus points.
Bonus.
Oh yeah.
you know what wasn't bonus points?
What?
Everything about the movie for me.
It's not.
I don't know, man. It's just
Do you want to get into it now? Do you want to?
yeah, because I mean, I feel like you put in your 2 cents about
Yeah.
as a third party prospect of not ever looking at any content when it comes to Ready Player One. But for somebody who's looking forward to seeing a movie that was a book that you actually really loved, that binged twice already, both in book and audio format, to see it and then going, oh, they took the aspect of Ready Player One and then made it into a movie. It would be like grabbing the Harry Potter series and going, yeah, the Harry Potter shit is happening right now, but this is about something else.
You know what I kept thinking about the whole time I was watching the movie. You used to listen to Harmontown with me, and you know that There's that one episode where they talk about like the day after he finally watches, like after like the new writers take over for the new season.
Okay.
And they ask him, so how did it feel? And then like there's like a pause, and he goes, well, it felt like someone was trying to mimic what you did in a very unflattering way. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is what they would do, right? Poop joke here, sad, depressing story here. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. Like, the essence tried to be there, but it wasn't there for me.
Like, it's like they took the dead skeleton of what the book was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then just threw it on a stage and went, here, watch it. There you go.
Dance for me.
Dance. Yeah, there's no soul.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're human, because there's a soul. We have souls.
It wasn't built in reality.
Yeah. It was cheesy. There was I felt I was going to say this in the car, and the entire ride we drove back, I wanted to say things.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't because I wanted to say them on recording.
Mm-hmm.
This was a kid's movie.
Yeah.
With a couple cuss words.
Oh, dude, it was total.
I feel like if it was a direct to DVD, I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
I would have been more okay with it if it was a direct to DVD.
Like the minute I figured out it was a kids movie was the minute that this is the end where you get like that confrontation between the ultimate bad and the good. You know what I'm talking about? And like the ultimate bad is about to like attack, and then he goes, "Is that God?
I see friends being together."
And then
Exactly.
And I was like, "What the fudge, man? Like this is not
Yeah, it's
a lot less dark, man. Like there's no death. Like in the book, I mean, if you've read the books,
books have
very dark.
It's a very much a kids movie. There is supposed to be a lot of people dying.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be stakes, and there was. To me, this movie had no stakes.
I can't say that because it's kind of a spoiler.
Well, like here's a warning. Spoiler, and if you don't want to listen to it, skip the next minute.
2 minutes probably. It's the part with the password.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is a multinational like corporation, dude, and he's got a password right
Just
on
a post-it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like
What?
you might think that that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But in actuality,
That happens a lot.
that is how multi-billion-dollar companies get broken into.
Oh shit.
Stupid
no.
people putting their password in places they're not supposed to. Your password's supposed to be stored in one place, your head. That's it. You're not supposed to write it down. You're not supposed to put it anywhere. You're supposed to keep it in your head and remember it. So this actually not unbelievable to me. Like somebody putting a post-it note of their password. I thought it was cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was dumb. Also, there's a moment in the book itself, and this is just a throwaway, by the way, Michael. It's not going to spoil anything in the book. But
I mean, I just saw the movie.
your character, when you log into the Oasis, which is the game itself, the only way to get into the Oasis is through retinal scans.
Yeah.
Your gear scans your eyes, and you have like a login, and that's how you get in. So for like, there's a moment in the movie where one of the characters it does a bunch of stuff that is definitely not in the books.
Mm-hmm.
This whole book was not in the book. This whole movie was not in the book. But
Oh my god.
there's a moment where she's doing all her things. And I was like, how the fuck did she log in? I was like, what the fuck?
You dude, oh my god. So this is nitpicky, but this pissed the fuck out of me because I don't know why, but I was just like, why didn't you do it this way? So in the beginning movie, when he first logs in, I thought right there, because in the book they say when you log in, what's the first thing that pops up?
I don't remember at the moment. To tell you
The
truth.
first thing that pops up is says Ready Player One.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they didn't do that for the movie. I was like, that's the perfect way to like bring in the title of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
And you just didn't do that, Steven Spielberg. You put
Okay.
your own fucking shit in there.
I don't think Steven Spielberg read the book.
Yeah, fuck you, Steven. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Like, it felt like when you watch it, it feels very much like a guy, it's like whoever directed it, whoever wrote it, because I don't think he didn't write it, right?
I don't know. Did he even direct it? I think he produced it. I don't know if he directed it.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't have wasted your money, you piece of shit. Anyways,
He's gonna make billions.
yeah, he will. Fuck him. Whoever wrote this, it kind of felt like they didn't understand what being a gamer was. If that made any sense to
Yes.
both of you guys. because like the thing in the movie in the book, Mike, is like, so you saw a lot of like references to games,
Yeah.
but the problem is in the book that's not how it is most of the time. Like the book, you make your own avatar. You know what I mean? You don't. So like if you think about it in your aspect, if you would have had if the Oasis existed, would you want to be a game character or would you want to make your own character?
I'll make my own character.
Right.
Exactly.
But it also the game that's getting more into something we should talk about later on
Okay.
when we do another one. But we were talking a lot about what we didn't like about the movie. We really are. Okay, maybe let's mention some things we did, because there was a lot of things that I thought fucking great, really well done. Definitely not the book, but there were some things I enjoyed. I think it was aesthetically really beautiful.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I-
It was definitely.
Damn, dude,
it
that
was,
fucking hurt my ears.
it was definitely beautiful. All of the different domains that they were in.
Right.
The landscape was
A lot of
breathtaking.
A lot of people are calling the movie very campy when it comes to like throwbacks. Like, oh look, there's this character. Oh look, there's another character. Oh, I remember that. But that's what the book is. It's nostalgiaful.
Yeah.
So that I think they got that pretty well. They did a different era in the movie than they did in the book, which I was okay with.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really give a shit about the era because
They took from a couple eras.
yeah, they did. And which is the whole point of it, is the fact that like in VR you're gonna see everything from anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? Do you guys have any? Like I said, this is gonna be like a super short episode, guys.
You know what's funny that you mentioned like the whole like the last thing you said when you were you just started talking was about how like it's as its own movie, it's really good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if so that's why Mike liked it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing like if for people out there who have seen like for me, for instance, Scott Pilgrim. Right, like when I first watched the movie Scott Pilgrim, but then I read the book and I was like, oh, well, this movie sucks compared to it because it's not the same thing, right? Like it's okay, but by the standard of what the book is, if you're gonna measure it by what the book is, you're probably not gonna like the movie. If you're gonna measure it as just like its own thing, like someone just came up with the idea for this movie, there wasn't a book out there, then it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Right.
But I mean, it was aesthetically pleasing. Like half of the movie, you were gonna say in the car, and then you stop yourself with the whole CGI thing. Like the movie is basically most of it is all CGI, but it looks amazing.
It would be something you should take your kids to.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Though, warning, the movie's PG-13, but they cuss.
Yeah, they do.
Like they said fuck at least twice.
Yeah.
I think they said fuck twice or once at least, and they kept saying shit.
There was a sexual kind of scene too.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I
My
guess.
pee-pee was hard. No, I'm sorry. You got to put a little comedy in it. Come on, we're a comedy podcast.
I just realized that when you like said you're sorry, I was like, you said you're sorry. You can cut that part out. Sorry, but
Yeah,
I just realized you actually said something when you like gasped.
Oh,
I was just.
Okay.
I would have never heard that unless you were speaking into a microphone.
yeah. That's how we're getting good, baby. Look at this. Look at all this technology.
I mean I don't know if that's good, but
Yeah, baby.
But anyways, yeah, the movie does for you guys if you're taking your kids does have strong words, like 3, maybe 4 times.
Yeah. Definitely don't watch it in 3D because we checked up saying that it was going to be good in 3D.
Yeah, people like I read a couple websites and everyone was like, "Oh, this was best watch it in 3D," but I think it was probably a couple websites owned by Warner Brothers.
Yeah, probably.
So, final thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wasn't excited about the 3D part.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have totally watched the movie without 3D.
You mean
Yeah.
without
But-
paying an extra $5?
Exactly. Maybe go on the discount day.
Right.
But yeah,
I think I would have been less mad as well if I had
Yeah.
paid way less money than I should have.
Well,
for this
our
movie.
original idea was to watch it like during the day, like in the morning one day, but they didn't have any
Yeah.
morning showings.
No, they're being really
smart.
they're being really
Yeah.
sleazy about it because they're putting a bunch of times to watch the movie in 3D.
Yeah.
So you can go see it 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:45, 6 o'clock, and then for the standard without 3D, it's 11 a.m. and 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you? That's bullshit. That's ludicrous. And you're trying to it's a money grab,
It's a money grab, especially on Easter
especially on Easter.
because
that's
we
right.
watched it on Easter.
Yeah. So I think with that, I mean, like final thoughts to me, if you haven't read the book, watch it. It's definitely a watch. Like you can take your kids. Maybe not at the theaters. Maybe watch it in
Like Redbox.
Yeah,
when it comes
Redbox. Redbox it. That's right. Yeah, maybe rent it. But I wouldn't recommend going to the movies to see it, and definitely not
Yeah.
in 3D.
Unless you're, you're a girl and you want a free date, and you go, hey, come on, Georgie, come out with me.
But Mike,
Um,
final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Definitely go see it in any format that you can. DVD, theater,
So okay, so you're saying
pay-per-view.
theater would be nice.
Yeah. Theater, definitely go see it at least once. Definitely don't pay what
Don't
during
pay
the
3D price.
Yeah, go at 11 a.m. if you need to. Get that early bird special.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good movie. We were watching the credits, and I was just waiting. I was waiting. I've been too used to seeing end credits.
There was no end credits.
There wasn't. I was waiting for maybe them
Ready?
crossing out one, and we're like, oh, player two.
Wouldn't that be I'm sorry, could I get to you? But wouldn't that have been some shit if if Steven Spielberg was like, wait a minute, we can make more money off of this?
Well, they're gonna make a second book.
Oh, he's making a second.
yeah.
Ernest Cline.
Ernest Cline is already. I think he might have either written it already, but it's not out yet.
You see, the Ready Player 2 part could have happened.
Shit.
I mean,
not
they
really.
they didn't. The movie didn't end with it any way for it to be a sequel.
No.
The book does. The
Yeah.
movies do not.
Really? Okay.
What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts are if you've seen them, if you've read the books, just do what SpongeBob did when he was trying to learn how to be a fine waiter. Just throw all of it away. Throw all of it away. Store it somewhere deep inside your cerebellum. Don't bring it out for the movie. Throw it all away. So just trust me. Throw it all away.
Yeah, if you can just store it all away and
Yeah.
then just sit there and watch the pretty fucking pictures in the TV, then yes,
Then
that would
yes.
be nice.
If you haven't seen it, well, then you're in for a treat, my friend, because it's a really good movie. It's funny. It's got romance. It's got a little horror. It's got a little action. It's got all this stuff. If you're older and you're taking your kids, you could be like, oh my god, like I remember this shit, or I've seen this shit. I've experienced this feeling that they're feeling. It's an adventure movie at the end of the day, and we give this 5 raccoons out of 10. But that
You
means
give it 5 raccoons out of 10.
But this is what happens. The raccoon saw a garbage can because the person who read the book said it was garbage, and the raccoon was like, "Oh shit, I want garbage," and now it's a 9 out of 10. So it's a little weird the measuring. We didn't come up with it.
Give me a real fucking rating. What would you say?
Me, Joe, personally,
Yeah.
because I heard the book like a 3.
Okay. How about you, Mike?
Because I could have made the book
3 out of
better.
what?
I could have made the movie better.
Yeah. Well, I think I understand the movies and the book had to be different because
yeah.
of the fact that the books themselves, the books are filled with callbacks like Dungeons and Dragons and Gundam and
What I'll say this: on the thing on Dungeons and Dragons, they could have gotten Dungeons and Dragons.
they could have gotten Dungeons and Dragons.
They got dice pictures.
Yeah.
There's no way you couldn't get like swords and go, oh, this is like D&D.
Yeah, you could have had a whole domain.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Of
they
that.
did do there was a little Dungeons and Dragons Easter egg right in the movie. I mean, there was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
But I get why they couldn't do some of the things in the book, because in the book you're playing a bunch of video games, which it might not be visually appealing. So I understand why they had to change those things. To me, I'd probably give the movie like a 6 out of 10.
7 out of 10 for me.
Okay. So an average, like a 5.
5. Yeah.
Yeah, an average of 5.
See, 5 raccoons. There you go. Fuck you.
Well, hey guys, I hope you didn't hate this.
I don't think that. Yeah.
Yeah, no. If you liked it, let us know. If you didn't like it, go fuck yourself.
If you didn't like it, then too bad. You listened to it. Nobody's fault but your own.
Yeah, and we only wasted 20 minutes or 30
Yeah.
minutes every time, or
Yeah.
however long we made this.
If
What is
you
this?
if you did
20
like
minutes.
this and you would like us to do more reviews, you can just message us, right?
Oh yeah, let us know at designated.pod@gmail.com.
Okay.
That's designated D as in David .pod@gmail.com. I'll be looking at that email to see if anybody sends us shit, and don't. You can email us. I was gonna say don't send us shit like literal poop, but
I mean, if you do, then hey, maybe
If
we'll
you're
have
gonna-
you on the podcast.
if you can legitimately send us literal poop, you better be sending Ready Player One.
Oh my god.
Either way, thank you for joining us on
I
this.
think with that,
Yeah, thank you for joining on this mini episode of the Designated Drinkers Go to the Movies. My name is Karlo.
I'm Joe.
And Mike.
We are the Designated Drinkers.
Keep on drinking.
Watching movies. Keep on watching movies.
Oh, keep on watching movies.
That's right. Take care, guys.